In our last episode, we did a bit of a deep dive into our transfer business here in the Spurs DOF save. We're heading into season number 5, and we've sort of decided that it's going to be our last season at the club. We're going to move on to another team after this year, and we've made this season a one-season shot at winning the Champions League. We've given Will Still a bit of a super team. He should have all of the resources as our head coach to go and win the Champions League, and that is our aim. Today's episode, we're going to go and play the Community Shield at the start of season number 5. We're also going to find out whether I've spent a load of money on an aging new centre-back in Virgil van Dijk. And if you know me, you probably know the answer, or do you? Let's find out if I've spent all that money on Van Dijk. Let's see what other business I have done, and let's go and play this Community Shield game as we go into our final season at the club. I feel a bit sad. We also need to have a look at who I should go and manage, or not manage, but be the director of football of next. Let's get into the episode. Hello, welcome back to the Spurs DOF save. The save where we are the director of football. We've appointed head coaches along the way, and Will Still, our head coach last season, won us the league. Fantastic stuff. We've been doing some season 5 transfers since that though. We've given ourselves one season and one season only to win the Champions League. We got to the semi-finals last season where we were beaten by PSG 5-1. We did it as a live com as well. It was just, to be honest, a very sad time, considering we actually lost the first leg away from home 3-2 as well. With 5-1 at home, that was embarrassing. We need to go one better this year. In fact, 2 better. We need to get to the final and we need to win it, because after this season, I think we're going to leave Spurs. And we've given ourselves that one season shot, meaning we need to go big with transfers. I've done some extra transfers. At the end of last episode, we were debating whether or not we should sign Virgil van Dijk. And I can reveal to you right now that I didn't sign him. I didn't sign him, which that sounds weird for me, right? Here he is, look, still at Liverpool. He's 35. He's still got one season left at the club. The reason being, they wanted too much money. I asked them again for how much they wanted. And this, I mean, I offered them this. Like, this is 81 million, which is a lot for a 35-year-old. And, I mean, they'd actually say yes to it now. They said no to it. But I decided that, basically, it was too much money, especially for a player that, I mean, Van Dijk actually is left-sided anyway, isn't he? And we were looking for a right-sided defender. So I've decided not to buy him. I have, though, as you may have spotted here, I have signed a new right-sided defender. He's very not me. It's Jurrien Timber. I feel like there wasn't many right centre-backs that could also play right-back if we needed him to, that were actually going to improve us, that I think Will Still would actually play ahead of Romero, and I've decided to go for Timber. Now, he's not massive. He's 5'10", which is very against my usual things here, but I've signed him for £50 million. It could rise to 78. It's about £20 million up front. We had the money to do it. And I've decided to pull the trigger on Jurrien Timber. Let me know what you think of that one as a signing. I mean, I actually really like him in FM, but I don't tend to use a player that is this short at centre-back. Will it cost us? I actually don't feel like it will. I think he's pretty good. I really like him anyway. He's going to add some depth. He can play at this right back spot. He can play in centre mid. He could also play DLP as well if we wanted him to. We play a DLP on defend, don't we? Which, if we show him his attributes here to do that, I think he's pretty good. He's got really good passing, decent vision, and as a defensive option in there, I feel like he's going to get games for us this season with Will Still. He's our main big signing in the summer. Instead of Van Dijk, we've gone for Timber. Would you like to see the other signings that we made? I feel like you probably would. Let's jump across to them now, and I can show you who I've been signing with the remainder of our budget. Actually, saying the remainder of our budget. We've still got loads left. If we wanted to do a little bit more, I'm not sure we will, but let me show you these signings. Here it is then, the rest of our business, most of it in outgoings. There is a couple of extra ones in here. I've fallen into a little bit of a bug here and a little bit of a trap maybe. I saw some comments about this as well, and I suppose we need to talk about it a little bit. I keep signing youngsters, and I know that we've said that this is a one season shot to win the Champions League, but I'm trying to apply a little bit more realism to it in a way with this, in that I think as a director of football, even if you've decided that you're going to move on to another club, you'd still be looking at signing players for the future, wouldn't you? You'd still be looking to sign players that maybe the manager wanted to build the team around in the future years. So I feel like ignoring that and just signing players like Van Dijk and spending loads of money and not protecting the future of the club is maybe not realistic. So I've gone down that route, and I have signed some new players for the future using some of the budget. We've still got loads of budget left if we wanted to, by the way. So these aren't players instead of signing players that we could go into the team right now, but instead I've decided to buy some youngsters too because they look so good. And I was just doing the thing where I've set some recruitment focuses looking for these players, and I mean, I showed you this guy last episode. I have decided to buy him in the future. His future fee is now done. He is signing for £15 million, I think, for a player that goes on to become really, really good. We're still waiting on his scout report, but I decided to just go for it because at 16, sorry, he looks like he's going to be ridiculous. I'm really confident that this scout report comes back good. And I mean, if it doesn't, then I've just wasted 50 mil. And then does it matter because we're moving on? No, that's not the point, is it? But he's got acceleration. He's got the pace. Natural fitness is good. Dribbling is amazing at 16. Look, crossing as well, really good for a winger. I mean, he's just good already. And he's going to become, I just know it, he's going to become really good. I've seen enough of youngsters like this, especially from places like Bilbao, who produce worldies on this game, don't they, of course? Then I think he's going to be one for the future. And if we do move on to another team, maybe we could loan him from Spurs, or maybe we can just watch his development at Spurs, because of course we're going to keep an eye on Spurs even when we move on, aren't we? Hopefully you sort of agree with that thinking where I am signing players for the future, even though we're not going to even see them play it. Like, if we move on next year, Ezcura joins after we've probably gone in August next season. So, yeah, I get it. I understand the comments, but that's sort of my reasoning behind it. Hopefully you agree with it. Here are the other things that I've done which kind of tie into that as well. We saw Marco Pinto last episode. He comes in as a backup DLP defensive midfielder, 6'2". He looks great already at 18 years old. Still loads of potential on him, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's got four stars guaranteed, maybe 5 as well on his potential. Think he can become a pretty good player. I feel like he will get a little bit of game time as well, because Will Still's been quite good at actually giving game time out. Not a load of game time, but some game time out. Like if I go to where is Awono here? Awono, who came in as our big prospect last year, played 7 times, look, 5 starts across all competitions. I think that's all right for a player that is now, what, 19 years old? Hopefully gets a bit more game time this season too. Did he play him as a winger? He must have played him as a winger at some point. No, I mean, maybe for the younger teams or like the under 21s, maybe. I feel like he's not a winger. He's a right back for me. Anyway, there's Awono. We are distracted again. Pinto is our first signing. I showed him last episode. I've shown you Timber, 50 million, rising to 78 million. Some of that done over installments as well. I didn't spend 50 million up front on him. It was about 20 and then, 30 in the future, but could go to 78 with appearances would be that extra 28 million there. Liam Ferguson is the next one. And again, he was one that I couldn't really resist. He's a 17-year-old Scottish goalkeeper that, again, I got a scout report about him and it says that he is going to be so good, better than Diogo Costa, better than Bataro. He is my alternative to this guy here that I do wonder if we should go all out for, or just leave him at Freiburg and maybe in the future with another team go and get him. Got a calf muscle injury at the moment, but this guy's going to be the best keeper on the game, I reckon. He must be up there, but he costs 84 mil, and it would be up front as well. We just don't have 84 million pounds to spend on a player up front, so I've ignored him, but gone for Liam Ferguson, homegrown as well, being a Scottish youngster. Feel like it's a decent option for the future. Again, future-proofing us, which, I mean, whether you agree with that or not, that's what I'm doing. Those were financed, and that just leaves us then with about 49 million to go and spend, with some wage budget to go and spend if we want to. I'm kind of thinking, where do we sign somebody? That was financed, wasn't it, by the Kulusevski sale last episode. We also sold Pape Mate Sarr. Let's put these in order of when they actually went out. Pape Mate Sarr went for 5 mil. Then there's Kulusevski. We also sold Jed Spence, then has gone to Fulham for 10 million pounds. Didn't play any games last year because he went out on loan. He was at Norwich, was the Championship Player of the Year. So we did manage to get a decent amount of money for him, I think. I don't think we'd get much more. He's 25 years old now, Jed Spence. Yes, homegrown in England, but we've got loads of them anyway. Marcus Edwards, we managed to get him a move for 13 million pounds. Not the most amount of money, but I mean, we brought him in to fill a homegrown quota, didn't we? We got almost all of that money back if you add the loan fee as well to that. I mean, he wasn't playing games for Atalanta. I think that shows you the level that he's at. He started 0 games on loan at Atalanta where they told me they were going to play him. So I don't quite think he was going to have an impact on the team, was he? Getting 13 mil for him, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. He's moved on. We've loaned out Ricardo Ramirez, another one of our young goalkeepers. We've got Bataro in, so I've loaned out Ramirez. We've actually got loads of really good young goalies now, which is a bit of a weird one, but there he is. I've also loaned Vitor Roque out. He seems a weird one. I just don't think he would have played for us. He's 21 now. I don't know if we're going to get the worldy Vitor Roque that you can get in FM. I mean, he's got a decent amount of, I think I put that price tag on him, but he's gone to Freiburg. Hopefully, you know, buttering them up a little bit. Maybe they'll give us Colon on the cheap in the future. Maybe, maybe not. They're going to pay a little bit of a loan fee for him. They're also going to pay a decent chunk of his wages too. 63k a week of his wages going to be paid by him. And they've told me he's going to play every game, which I'm hoping is the case because then he might develop a little bit. Not sure, but he's gone out because we had so many. We've got loads of young strikers, haven't we? I've decided to let him go too. Alexis McAllister is the final one. £15 million. I'm actually pretty happy with the money we got for him as well. He's gone to Shakhtar. Signed him for 40. He had a good run in the team. So I think getting 15 million back for him now is actually a decent return. I know he's not old or anything like that, but he was well down the pecking order, wasn't he? 15 mil. I mean, it's a bit of a loss overall, but is it a loss if he played 3 full seasons for you and then you sell him for 15 mil? I feel like that's just normal business, isn't it? He's gone to Shakhtar. Again, the fact he's gone to Shakhtar and not one of the biggest teams in the world, does that show you the level that he's actually at now? It probably does, right? Doesn't it? It gets his wages off our budget as well, helping us to have this amount of money. By the way, in terms of, sorry, I should show you, helping us to have this amount of wage budget left over. In terms of the budgets, by the way, £39 million in the bank. That will probably eke away in the way that it kind of does in our save look, where you get a bit of money, we work it all away. We get a bit of money, we work it all away, and each time it's kind of diminishing returns. But I've got faith that once I've not really made that many signings where I'm paying loads of future fees and we're kind of paying them off. I feel like what's the transfer debt now? It's 200 mil. Yeah, it's not amazing, but we've built ourselves into a title-winning team, haven't we? If we win the Champions League as well, that rep's only going to go up. You get the sponsorships. I'm kind of okay with it. It's a lot of you will disagree with the financial control that I've got, but I'm kind of okay with it. I think we've built ourselves. I mean, the team that we've built kind of says that we're doing okay with it, doesn't it? It looks like this, by the way. Just to show you, actually, before we look at the team, one other little bit of business that might happen is I might loan out our boy Ulysses Chavez Carataro. I think he's good enough and should be playing games this season if we want him to keep developing. He's behind Sesko. He's behind Victor Osimhen. I think he probably needs a bit of game time. And Fulham, who are in the Premier League, have offered to loan him as a star player, I think it was. So I've decided to accept that. He might reject them. We'll see if he actually goes. But he should be starting every game. He becomes maybe one of the best strikers on the game, doesn't he? I mean, if his pace goes, he's 19. And look at the fit. Like, he's so good. I don't think he'd start for us is the problem. So maybe we loan him to Fulham. Maybe we bring him back in January if he has developed even more and he could be a starter. I think I'm going to loan him. We've got offers from Augsburg, Stuttgart and Fulham for him. And Fulham, they're going to pay 80% of his wages as well as a monthly fee. I think it's a deal that I'm happy to do. They're going to play him as well. So let's send him there and go from there. Let's have a look at this side, this squad then. As we approach our first game of the season, which is Leeds in the Community Shield. Let's go back to this season. We've played some friendlies. We beat British Airways 17-0. We are absolutely flying. Don't unsub, please. Actually, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's my plug for you on that one. British Airways 17-0. We were pretty good in this. Harry Kane scoring goals from midfield as well in that one, I think, as well. Here's the Community Shield game against Leeds. Leeds won. I mean, what did they win last year? I mean, I guess they won the FA Cup. I don't think they did win the FA Cup. Did they? I feel like Liverpool did. No, they did win the FA Cup. Fair play to them. I was going to say they did win the FA Cup. So we're going to play them as Premier League champions. We're going to do that as a live con game. But let's have a look at this squad and talk about it. Costa, the goalie. Decided to keep him. Haven't had any big bids yet, but Man U and Juventus are still interested. Porro is our right back with Iwono as the backup right back. Also, Timber could come in and play there too. We're well stocked at right back now. Porro's still first choice though. Romero and Bastoni think are still first choice. I was just looking. I know I was debating selling Romero, wasn't I? But I think he's just a really good centre back. I don't know if we get much better than him. I know he's not fast with 13 acceleration and pace. Not even that tall, but he has been really good for us, and maybe it's just not worth selling him for the sake of it, which I feel like is maybe what we'd be doing. So he starts at right centre-back. We do have Silva there if we want to play him. We do have Timber there if we want to play him there as well. So both really good options. I actually want to see what type of development has Silva done in this save. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. He's maybe just a level below Romero, but he's pretty good, isn't he, Silva? If he actually played a long run in the team, I think he'd maybe be pretty good for us, but there we go. Bastoni and Guardiola are our left-sided centre-backs. Well, I mean, both amazing. Guardiola not being a starter for us is just ridiculous, isn't it? He will play a lot of games at left-back though, won't he? With Udogie there, and also Martelotta. Martelotta is a good young left-back too at that position. In midfield, Camavinga, Bellingham, Fernandes. We've also got Harry Kane to come back from his injury. Could play as any of those midfield three. We've also got Pinto, who could come in as a backup in that midfield too. We've also got Ward-Prowse still about the place somewhere. Could play a lot of games this year. I mean, we've also got Timber who could play in DLP. Look at him as a DLP there. The coaches, or will still, actually, I should say, really rate him in terms of star rating. So I feel like he could play some games there. I wonder what his best 11 actually looks like on the squad report. Assistant report look, or I should say best 11 according to Will Still has... That can't be up to date. He's got Alfie Devine as our next best. This must be... Maybe this hasn't updated, but that seems a bit weird that he's not got a few of our players. I mean, maybe it is updated because there's Liam Ferguson. Oh, no, sorry. That's not backup, is it? That makes sense. That's his best player in each position and then his youth prospect in each position. So that makes more sense that it's Alfie Devine there. So Camavinga would be the starter. He prefers França as our CM at the moment, which is an interesting one. Maybe he'll get more game time this year. He's very, very good, Mateus França. Unbelievably good, actually. So maybe he will play games. Oh, Antonio Silva as our left set. These are the wrong way around. That's just weird. But Silva starting as a centre-back's a fun one. Timber as the right-back too. Maybe we'll keep an eye on this because maybe this is the team that he chooses to play. We will see. Going back to the rest of the team though. Pino as our right-sided winger. França. Do we have another one? Do we still need one? We sold Kulusevski, of course. Is Escobar our next best right winger? Are we lacking a little bit at right wing now? I mean, that just says, do we need to go and sign Kulusevski, really? But maybe we get someone cheaper than Kulusevski. Maybe Escobar could do the job there. Keep an eye on that. I might have a look to see if anybody is actually available. Leao on the left-hand side does have... I mean, Pino could play there. França could play there. Are we a bit lacking on the wings? Oh, we have Pino and Leao. Are we a bit lacking in terms of wingers? Maybe. Maybe we are. I might have a look at what's available. And then up front, we've got Osman, we've got Sesko, we've got Chavez Carataro if we wanted to play him there, who's not far away at all, is he? We might loan him though. And that's our squad really. I guess I might have a look in today's episode at those other positions. But that's an update for you to really get you caught up ahead of this season. The final thing we're going to do in this episode is go and watch this Leeds game. Let's go across to Watching Man and get him to come and attend that Community Shield game. If I go to Spurs on here, we'll go to the games on the schedule. And can I click to attend on here? I can't. But if I go here, I can. No, I can't. Here, I can. Now Watching Man is going to attend. We go back to us and we're going to go on holiday. And I will see you at Wembley for the Community Shield. Can we go and add another trophy to our collection? I'll see you there. Okay, here we go then. Let's attend this match here. I'm actually quite excited to see what team he picks for this. Looking at that best 11 thing and seeing that a few players that I'm a bit surprised about were making his first team squad. I wonder if we're going to see some changes from Will still here. Let's get into this match preview and find out. There's the Leeds team with Mopé and Almada. Dele Alli is playing left wing. Madueke's at Leeds. I swear, did he go to Brighton before that? We looked at bringing him in. Oh, look, hang on a minute. Whoa, pause. Kane's in midfield. Timber starts. Chavez Carataro starts up front. I guess this is the Community Shield, but that's already interesting. He's gone for Chavez as his striker. Kane in midfield. We'll have a proper look at this in a second. I want to see who the defenders are as well. Okay, I thought it might be Silva. It is Romero Bastoni, Udogie Porro Costa, Timber in midfield, Camavinga further forwards, and Kane in that midfield is really interesting to me. Carataro starting. Chavez Carataro. I feel like we need a better name for him. It's long. It's a mouthful for me. I'll make an effort. Chavez Carataro is the striker. Pino and Leao on the bench then. He does have Osimhen on the bench. He does have... I mean, where's Bellingham is on the bench? Okay, Bellingham's a bit injured, so that may be why. But Kane is only just back from an injury himself, actually. He does have almost full heart condition there, so maybe he's just about okay. All right, that's fun. There's the Leeds team with Adams and Rocker in midfield. We are underway. Can we go and get ourselves another trophy? I feel like we should watch things where there's trophies up for grabs, even if it is the Community Shield. I feel like we should watch them, right? As a director of football, you want to go and win trophies. Maybe that was a mistake because so far, We've had no highlights. Here is the first one. 24 minutes on the clock before we see the team in action. It's a Doji down the left coming inside. Kane through to Chavez Carretero. Debut. He went for a dink there, which maybe was the wrong shot choice. But he got himself into a position, that's promising, isn't it? He's actually on a 6.4, so maybe less promising. I'd love to see him score a goal here. Maybe he fights himself in as first choice. He does have all of that potential, doesn't he? Maybe he does. Let's see as we head in at half time. That was the only highlight. The only other thing that happened was Tyler Adams getting a yellow card. We've not hit the target yet. Is that worrying? Might be. Leeds have hit the target 3 times. They are maybe just about shading it, but they've not had a highlight. We've had the only highlight so far. I wonder what we'll say to them at half time. Will he make any changes here? I guess is a question as well. No subs yet as we approach the hour mark. This is definitely not a classic, this game so far. It might be one of the worst live comms I've ever seen, actually. Oh my word. Chavez Carretero is down. He's off. Okay, I was going to say Carretero was down to a 6.3 now there, and he's now been replaced by Victor Osimhen. A bit of an inconspicuous first appearance from the youngster. 6.2. That might have been his chance, you know. Maybe he's blown it. I'm not sure. It's not a good performance. Porro's also off, and Ward-Prowse is on as a right back. Having a look at these roles, by the way, it's a fullback for Ward-Prowse, fullback for Udogie. He's not looking to see these wing backs or right wing back, fullbacks, I should say, get forward at all. Box to box, Camavinga. Out and out wingers for Leao and Pino. Seems odd with Osman now on, who's also apparently on a 6.3, although he's only just come on, so I'm not sure how that's the case. 10 minutes to play, and we've seen not a lot. Ward-Prowse off the bench. Can he score a free kick? No. He's a bit far out, I think. I mean, I'd be asking for my money back if I'd made my way to Wembley for this match here, which I have, I suppose. Can I have my money back? It's not been a classic, and I think we're going to go to penalties. That's it. We are going to have pens. I guess we put ourselves behind the goal for the penalties. I like this view for the pens. We've seen Loftus-Cheek come on as a striker for Leeds at the end of this one. Let's find out if we can win it on penalties then. It's Ainsley Maitland-Niles to take the first one. Can Costa keep them out? Ugh, he nearly did. I was about to say yes. It squirmed in. Harry Kane with the chance to equalise for us. Usually good from the spot. Is good from the spot this time. Oh, look, we've got other changes there. França came up. Why have we got so many changes coming up here? I guess because we've not had the highlights. Dele Alli for Leeds. Also scores. It's 2-2. Or is it not? It's not 2-2. It's 2-1. He's made it 2-1. Osimhen can make it 2-2 now. Here's his run-up. Good penalty from him. It is now 2-2. 100% record so far. His Campas, who I am not familiar with. Looks like a short guy, and he's put it down the middle. Good penalty. Costa diving out of the way. 3-2. Yeremy Pino to make it 3-3. I mean, I'm worried. Shouldn't have been worried. It is 3-3. The look at them celebrate when it goes in. Here's Loftus-Cheek. They did bring him on late, I think. So this could be deliberately to take a penalty. Sometimes that doesn't go your way, does it? This time it does. 4-3. Mateus França. I guess the same thing applies to him. I think he came on pretty late on in the game too. Also scores 4-4 at sudden death. We've got sudden death now. Nathan is going to take the 5th penalty for Leeds. Rolls it home. And is it Camavinga? He's got his name highlighted. It's not. It's a Doji. Not sure I'd be picking him to take our 5th pen. Maybe he's really good at penalties. He has to score. Otherwise, Leeds are going to win the Community Shield. And if he does score, we continue into actual sudden death. That's dreadful. That is a really bad penalty from Destiny Udogie, and it's Leeds that win the Community Shield. Will still, with the opportunity to win another title, another trophy, has blown it somewhat, and Leeds are going to lift it from this guy here with the red glasses on. I mean, we will watch it out of respect. I've made my team, actually not even me, is it? I'm in the stands. Will Stills made his team sit down and watch this one as they lift it. Look, Tyler Adams with the trophy dish bowl plate above his head there. Well done, Leeds. You deserve it. Great stuff. What a dreadful, dreadful game that was. Get me out of here. That was awful. Right. Leeds confirmed as Community Shield winners. I guess we'll leave it there for today. Next episode, I'm going to go and play a whole load of games to start our new season. When I say play them, I mean watch them. We'll find out how Will still does. I'll make some decisions on a few of these players. Maybe make some more signings as well. Let me know what you'd be doing, by the way. I think I'm going to have a look at those wingers. Maybe we need one more. Maybe one that can play both sides just to back up Pino and Leao. A bit better than Escobar. Maybe França playing wide isn't the answer. Anyway, that's what I'm going to look at. I'll let you know how I get on with that in the next episode, as well as playing maybe all the way up until January. You know, I'm going to play a load of games now. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We've gone over 40k now. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you want your name to be at the end of the video like these guys is that are about to appear, make sure you go over to the Claytreon and help out over there. Thank you so much to all of my current Claytreon members. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye-bye. We've lost to Leeds. Brilliant.